Okay, we're here in downtown Jackson on Tuesday afternoon, November 9th, 2 days before Veterans Day, and I'm sitting beside Brian Geerts, who is a resident of Davenport, Iowa, a Marine, a United States Marine Corps veteran, and for the last 9 days, and for 2 days more, Brian is taking a walk all the way across the state of Ohio from one end to the other to make a statement in support of veterans and to show his support for veterans. And anyone who knows geography knows that here in Jackson, Ohio, he has completed most of his journey. It should be completed on November 11th, Veterans Day in Gallipolis. That's the plan at least. But Brian, you have done this not only in Ohio, but you've done this in 4 or 5 other states. Why are you taking the pains and time to make this walk or this run across 4 or 5 different states?
Just to get the awareness out there for veterans in need, veteran suicide awareness, raise funds and awareness, talk to veterans, talk to non-veterans. I've got a lot of support. I've already done Iowa, Illinois, Nebraska, and Indiana, and now Ohio. Next year I'll be back out here starting in West Virginia, eventually connecting North Carolina, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina to Camp Pendleton, California, 11 states in total. To date, I've raised about $7,000, talked to probably 500 and some people, mostly veterans, but non-veterans as well, people that support my cause, and reached out to 3 veterans in need that 2 of them were not getting the help they needed before they met me, and that's the reason I'm doing it. So far in Ohio, I haven't met any veteran in need that wasn't getting help already. But if I can make a difference in one person's life, it makes a difference.
All right, and I understand from your flyer you started in Convoy, which I know is over there on the western end of the state.
Correct.
And so you've come a long way already. Along the way, along the roadways, in towns when you're visiting, what sort of response have you received from the general public, and what do you think they have learned about veterans issues that maybe they didn't know before they talked to you?
I mean, a lot of honks, waves, salutes, a handful of people stopping. The previous journeys I've done, I've gone from town to town, walked in the country, didn't have as many people stopping. Walking around town, I've had a few people today stop when my wife and I walked earlier in Jackson. I hand out a flyer, ask them if they're a veteran or if they know of a veteran that needs help. Ask if that veteran is getting help, and let them know they're not alone. That's my biggest thing. I served in the 80s during peacetime. I trained, but never served in combat. And I have no demons in my head, but personally I know 9 people that have committed suicide, and 2 others that have tried that I know of. One I just found out about 6 weeks ago that I've known, Army veteran that I've known for 40 years, that he just told me that he tried it a couple years ago and he's thankfully getting the help he needs. And that's my thing, is a lot of veterans are too proud to go out and seek the help that's out there for them.
Well, Brian, I've heard the alarming statistics about the rate of veteran suicides. What is the common thread that results in veterans feeling so gloomy that they take their own lives?
Well, I think they're ashamed to get help. I think they feel it's a sign of weakness to talk to somebody about their problems. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I know in the Marines you're taught, in most branches, you tough it up and suck it in and suck it up. And I think that's the biggest thing, is to let people know that there's somebody out there. And there's always somebody out there that's willing to listen 24/7.
All right, and of course, are you still on schedule, you think, to finish in Gallipolis and walk in the Veterans Day Parade?
Yes. I'm going to walk in the parade there at 10:30 Thursday morning, and then I'll be there for the ceremony at 11, and then head back home after that.
All right, and I know you were in Jackson County today, still in Jackson County. What is your schedule the rest of the way, and are you making any stops while you're here in our home territory?
In town, I'm just walking around Jackson, and then I'll hit the other towns off of 35 going down to Gallipolis. And I can't think of the name of them off the top of my head. I apologize.
No, that's all right. Rio Grande,
it's on the flyer.
Centerville, probably.
Yes.
And right,
Yep.
and then of course Gallipolis right there on the river.
Yeah. Rio Grande and one other one. Sorry.
Right. Well, I know it's a loaded question and it's a generality. Everybody doesn't feel the same way. But do you feel that in general Americans have proper respect for veterans?
I think the majority do, especially since 9/11. I mean, obviously during Vietnam, most of America didn't care. When I was in the 80s, it was more neutral. After 9/11, it became a lot more thank you for your service and people noticing veterans. I think it's still that mindset, but there are still negative people. I've had a few people give me the bird, unfortunately, honk at me and say derogatory things. And, of course they leave and they don't confront me man to man. But I think all in all, especially in the Midwest, I mean, the 5 states I've gone to are very supportive. More small towns than bigger cities, I've found, in my opinion. The majority of the towns I've gone through ones that were a blink going through to Columbus is the biggest city I've gone through to date. I went through Des Moines, which is the capital of Iowa, and a couple bigger cities in Illinois. But I think all in all, I've got a lot of respect from people, and I feel that that the majority of Americans do support veterans.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
once again, I'm here with Brian Geerts, who is walking across the state of Ohio to raise awareness for veterans and veterans issues. Speaking for myself, I thank you, Brian, for your service. Respect
You're
what
welcome.
you're
Thank you.
I do respect what you're doing, and that's a wrap here in front of the Jackson County Courthouse. 2 days away from Veterans Day, the ultimate veteran making a statement in support of his peers.